What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Meal Prep. If this is your first time here, how you doing? Stick around. We're going to be making something awesome today. Today, we're going to dive into the Cajun side. We're making jambalaya. We got some chicken, I got some shrimp, and some sausage. Are you ready to do this? Let's get started. Since I knew you guys were going to be here today, I went ahead and prepped things a little bit. I've already chopped up some of our vegetables, cut up some of our meat. Let's go ahead and look at our ingredients today. We have some chicken. I'm using about 2 pans of chicken. I've already cubed it up. I have about 1.5 pounds of shrimp. I'm using 3 cups of rice. I've already went ahead and rinsed my rice off. That's a very important step. Please wash your rice. I'm going to be adding a couple cans of diced tomatoes. Now I went and looked for no salt and organic. Now we have some chicken broth here. I'm using the low sodium version of this. Now normally I don't use chicken broth. I probably would substitute it for water. This recipe probably calls for about 2 to 3 cans of it. I'm only going to use 1 can and then I'll substitute the rest for water. That way I can kind of dissipate some of that sodium and have it spread out across all the meals that we're making today. Now I'm also going to be using some garlic. I have about 6 cloves. When I diced it up, it probably came out to about 2 tablespoons. So this is going to be really key in flavoring our food. Then I have the trifecta again. I'm using orange bell peppers, red bell peppers, and green bell peppers. We have some red onion and some celery. This is the holy trinity of Cajun cooking. This is the base that starts everything. So you have to have these 3. All right. Now I searched high and low for some sausage. Traditional jambalaya calls for some kind of andouille sausage, but everyone that I found in the store was very high in sodium. Some of the other sausages were anywhere between 6 to 900 milligrams of sodium per link. I try to keep things very low salt content around here, keep a low sodium diet. So I'm always looking for things that fit into my lifestyle along with my health goals. So if you don't mind the sodium, I don't know why you would, try these sausages, okay? I got these at Costco, really good price too. The sodium intake was about 340 milligrams per 2 ounces. Let's go ahead and season our chicken and our shrimp. I have 1/4 a teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper, and 1/4 teaspoon of this Creole season going in. Same thing for the shrimp. When you're cooking multiple protein sources, be very careful about cross-contamination. So I have 2 different spoons here, 2 different bowls. I'm not mixing anything yet. The chicken and the chicken sausage can be cooked together, but I'm gonna keep the shrimp out until later, all right? Let's go ahead and stir it up. All right, so while that's sitting there, soaking in a little bit, let's go ahead and start on the chicken sausage. I'm gonna cut them about 1-inch medallions, so about that big. We'll go ahead and chop them up. There's 10 of them in this bag, about 3 pounds. I'm gonna use about 7, so that's roughly about, I say about 2.5 pounds of chicken sausage that I'm going to be using. So I have my pan over there preheating on the stove. I'm gonna add about 2 tablespoons of olive oil and half of that garlic to the pan, and I'm gonna throw in the chicken and the chicken sausage. All right, let's go ahead and get started. All right, so about half of this, which is about a tablespoon of garlic. Go ahead and add the chicken. So let this cook for about a minute, then I'll flip it, cook it for another minute, then I'll add the chicken sausage. This is gonna take about 15 to 20 minutes to cook all the meat all the way through. We're gonna make sure there's no pink left. If you're concerned about the pink, you can always get a meat thermometer. Otherwise, just take a piece out, cut it open, and see if it's done. All right, I'll see you back in a few minutes. All right, let's go ahead and take out the chicken and go ahead and put in the sausage. Just in case you didn't notice, I did switch pans. I had to get a bigger pan. I started realizing that I have all this chicken, all this sausage, all this shrimp, and then all that rice. That little pan wasn't going to cut it, so we had to go big or go home. So we had to go big or go home. All right, let's go ahead and add the sausage. So I'm cooking everything in the same pan, so I want all those flavors to mix. We'll let the sausage cook for about 10 to 12 minutes, then we'll come back, add the chicken back, toss it in for a little bit, take that out, and then start working on our rice. See you in a second. So the good thing about the sausage that I chose is that it's already fully cooked. So that kielbasa sausage, all I had to do to it was sear it off. Now I've gone ahead and added back in the chicken so that the flavors can start melding together. I want to go ahead and take that off now, and it's time to start the rice. All right, so I've taken all the sausage and the chicken off. Look at that. Okay, so we're getting pretty close to getting done. Now look at the pan. There's all those good bits in there. So I added about 1.5 tablespoons of oil. Go ahead and start adding some of the celery. Add the onion. And we'll add the bell pepper. Let that cook for about 3 to 4 minutes. And then we'll start adding some of the seasonings and our garlic and everything to that. Now you don't want to clean the pan. I want to get all that stuff up from the bottom. So that's nothing but seasoning and flavoring. You see how it's already coating the peppers and the celery and the onions? You want that. And it makes it easier to clean the pan later on. So that's been cooking for about 3 to 4 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and add the rest of my garlic. I'm gonna add 1 teaspoon of paprika, 1 teaspoon of basil, 1 teaspoon of thyme, and I'm gonna add about 3 teaspoons of this Creole seasoning, so about 1 tablespoon. So let's go ahead and add the rice as well. The rice mixed with all the seasonings and the vegetables is going to start to flavor it. Then we'll add the liquids later. So that rice that I just added was uncooked. So that was about 3 cups of uncooked rice. The reason I add it before the liquids or before I cook it is so that all that flavoring can get soaked up into the rice kernels and really just enhancifies. What's the word? All that seasoning is really going to adhere to the rice, so when I go to add the liquid, it won't be bland. So this is flavoring at every step. Cook the rice a little bit for about 3 to 4 minutes, and then we'll add the chicken broth, water, and the tomatoes. All right, almost there. Keep stirring so that the rice doesn't stick to the bottom of the pan and burn. All right, so it's time to start adding our liquids. I have 1 can of chicken broth here. I'm going to add 2.5 cups of water. Just getting everything from the bottom of the pan. Alright, so I have a couple cans of the diced tomatoes. Again, no salt added. My goal is to try to cut back on some of the salt whenever possible. So, no diced tomatoes with no salt. Good choice for me. Tomatoes in the pot. Now. So I've added the tomatoes. Now let's go ahead and add the sausage and the chicken back to the pan. I'm going to bring it to a boil and then turn it down to low. Put a top on it and let it simmer for about 15 to 20 minutes. All right, let's get to it. Woo! Oh mama, this looks good. It's time to add the shrimp. Yes, I'm adding raw shrimp to it. All right, so I added the shrimp. Let's let it cook for 8 to 10 minutes. The shrimp will be done when it turns pink, and then we're good to go. And we're back. All right, we are done. I have taken off the jambalaya. Does that not look good? Does that not look good? Oh my gosh, that looks good. We got shrimp, chicken sausage chicken, loaded with vegetables. Minimal oil was used. Oh my goodness, this is great. Now you might ask me, Sonia, how did you think to come up with jambalaya? Now I've been eating jambalaya all my life, but one of you suggested that I make jambalaya. So if you leave it in the comments, you never know, I just might make it. So to the person who commented, this is for you. All right, let's go ahead and serve this out. All right, so that's about 400 grams total, about 14 ounces in this bowl right here. I'll go ahead and do the macros here in a little bit. I gotta go figure all this out. Now, I did this with white rice just because I'm not the best cooker of rice on the stove. That's why I have a rice cooker, and I didn't want to try it with brown rice. But you can substitute this for brown rice as well. All right, get a little bit of extra dietary fiber, some extra vitamins and minerals, and stuff like that. Brain part. All right, let me go ahead and prep the rest of these, and I'll be back in a little bit. 14 meals later, and we're finally done. Let's look at them. Looks delicious. Now lastly, you could top them with a couple green onions. I hope that you enjoy watching this. I enjoy making it. So next time, what are we going to do? Leave your comments below and we'll figure it out together, all right? If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, smash it. Go ahead, push it out to Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, the world. Just tell someone, tell a friend, reach out and touch one if you care, all right? Other than that, stay focused, stay positive, and keep it moving. Good day, everybody. I'm about to eat.